Greetings and welcome to Auntie Yami channel. How are you doing? Today in this video I'll talk about comparison between JLP, which is Jamaican Labour Party, and PNP, which is opposition party, based on their election pledges and developments. And not forgetting priorities, especially from their most recent manifestos and public statements leading up to general election. As you are aware, some of you are not aware, Jamaica will go for general election to choose a new prime minister or party, or else to make sure the new government continues. That will be December. I believe in September the parliament will be dissolved. But don't forget, Jamaica is fighting to become a republic, which even now, I think Jamaica is giving pressure to King Charles of United Kingdom. Anyway, today is not much about that. As I said, today is today. Because as you can see my videos, I've been talking much about Jamaican Labour Party. But today, it has made me realize that I need also to come out here and show you people much about what PNP are promising to Jamaicans and compare them, as I said before. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share as we continue to talk about what is going on in Jamaica. Our brothers and sisters there, how are they thinking to date? Have you changed your mind? Are you for PNP or are you for JLP? Today I'm going to show you what is all about. I'm going to review everything about both parties, because I've seen other people that you are not from Jamaica. How are you making your judgments? So now I tried really hard to do some research. You know me, I always research. And then I came up with all the promises and also what JLP has done so far. So let's continue by watching this video from JLP.
We can only describe today as a momentous day, not just for Trelawney, but for Jamaica. This is going to be the largest single investment in tourism in the history of Jamaica. Over $1 billion of investment. Certainly it will be over a phased period, but the impact will be felt immediately. 1,000 rooms and then a build out of other facilities. This is more going to be a tourism community when it is done.
Thanks for the good work, sir. I appreciate it, sir. You're the best, best ever run Jamaica, sir.
I give me a hat in a man. I give me a hat. Get pictures. Look at all of you guys. Come on. Oh God, they're all cute.
Thank you, boss.
Bless us. Big one.
Yes, boss.
Where is Asian.
Rastaman and Para. No one and Para, man.
Yeah, true. He's alright. Big one.
Andrew, it's nice to meet you. The first in person.
You gonna come with me?
Let's also watch this video by PNP. We will not show the whole video, but we will continue as we are going for both parties as I explain to you what each party is doing. Very interesting. Let's continue watching.
So, comrades, the way I see the switching thing, you know, we're better off when who not really belong with we, go with them for go. Yeah, man, make the thing clearer. Me not like when people them amongst we and them not really for we. So if you're not for we, just go where you feel comfortable. We're alright, man, because we're marching on to progress. Blood and fire, comrades.
Hear the cries. I hear where I need to go. I come in. Be patient with me. Then give me shoes. Barbara Ruby tell me say me need sneakers. Me have 7 counselor. Me get 7 sneakers. Cause me I go walk the place. Comrades, we look good. We strong. We hear say some people switch. But we no care baggage with we. Cause then switch and them are go in a ditch, comrades.
As you can see, both parties, they've been very busy. These videos is about their campaign. What are they talking about? What have they achieved? Or what are their promises? How are they going to do it? Let's start with JLP, which is the ruling party led by Prime Minister Andrew Holness. Key election pledges: housing and infrastructures. Build 70,000 new housing units. Expand social housing under the new social housing program. We've seen JLP with the leadership of Prime Minister Andrew Holness handing over some houses to poor and low-income Jamaicans who couldn't afford to purchase a home. We've seen that and there is evidence. But as I'm saying today, it's about comparison. Then we break it down towards the end of this video. What conclusion are we going to make between the two? It's up to you, Jamaicans. With me today, it's just me showing you and comparing two parties, which are your future. One of them will be your future. One of them is going to be behind. Go back behind or come back forward. So it's up to you, Jamaicans. Major infrastructures upgrades: roads, bridges, urban roads, education, free tertiary education for students meeting academic requirements. This is JLP. Increase access to early childhood education. Economy and jobs. Continue to push for microeconomic stability. Support for MSMEs, micro, small and medium enterprises, supporting small businesses. Job creation through investment in tourism, which is a major sector in Jamaica, BPO, logistics and manufacturing. Digital transformation, expansion of broadband access, that's internet, Wi-Fi, thinking about social media, you name it. E-governance and smart services like online things. Nowadays is about e-governance. A lot of things nowadays we can do meetings, everything is e. E.g. online birth certificate, you can see, land titles, everything will be dealt online, rather than previously where it was like a long form. You have to fill the form and post it. Sometimes they won't even open your envelope, but this time everything they are promising that is gonna be online. Crime and security. Continued use of zones of special operations, ZOSOs. More investments in Jamaica. Constable force. Enhance policing in the community. These are the pledges of JLP. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share as we continue about People's National Party, which is PNP, led by Mark Golding. Social justice and equity. Universal minimum income for the most vulnerable. They are also thinking about the vulnerable like JLP. Protection of workers, rights and better minimum wage enforcement. End path. Program of advancement through health and education. What are they saying about education? This is People National Party in Jamaica. Free access to secondary and tertiary education. Better equipped schools and teachers development. They are thinking about teachers, to develop teachers, to offer them skills, to upgrade their skills. So let's youth and jobs. National Youth Guarantee Program, employment or education for all youth. They are also thinking about the future generation. Like JLP, they are also thinking about the future generation. Green economy jobs and digital skills trainings. This is the same thing about thinking about latest technology, develop technology, improvise technology. What about health? Universal health care without user fees. Oh, free health care system. Strengthening primary health care services. What about governance and anti-corruption? Reform campaign financing laws. Greater transparency and accountability in public contracts. There will be transparency in contracts, how someone gets a contract or how they issue contracts to individuals because they want to fight corruption. Both parties aim to modernize Jamaica. This is the comparison, but with different priorities. JLP lends on economic expansion and infrastructure, while PNP prioritizes social inclusion and public services. Let's listen to this video, what Jamaican Labour Party has done so far. As we continue to subscribe and watch this video.
When I took over as Prime Minister, the murder rate per 100,000 reached as high as about 49 per 100,000. You know what the murder rate is today? If you were to annualize it, the murder rate would be somewhere between 20 and 25 per 100,000. We have cut it in half. We can only describe today as a momentous day, not just for Trelawney, but for Jamaica. This is going to be the largest single investment in tourism in the history of Jamaica. Over $1 billion of investment. Certainly it will be over a phased period, but the impact will be felt immediately. 1,000 rooms and then a build out of other facilities. This is more going to be a tourism community when it is done.
Yeah, true. Big man.
Andrew, and it's nice to meet you. First in person. Thank you.
What is JLP's vision? Or else I have to say, what is Jamaican Labour Party's vision? A prosperous, secure, and modern Jamaica where every citizen can thrive. That's very interesting. Core themes: economic growth and job creation. This is the vision. As we read before, we are also looking into the vision of each and every party. Expand industries, like as we said before, in tourism, logistics, BPO, to drive jobs and income. They are there to provide income. They are thinking about driving jobs, offering Jamaicans jobs, generating jobs. This is their vision. And as I'm saying now, they've been really trying really hard to fulfill their promises, because I've seen a lot of programs. Those programs are benefiting Jamaicans as a whole, but are also creating employment to Jamaicans. Promote entrepreneurship and MSMEs, as we said before, because you have to promote entrepreneurs, young entrepreneurs. This is the future generation. It helps to build a strong Jamaican, which will have those intelligent, those youth who are well skilled. Modern infrastructure and technology. This is very interesting vision, because already Jamaican Labour Party is building roads. You've seen roads everywhere. While I'll be continue playing these videos for both parties, you can see, because it's just random, I have to mix them so that you can see, guys, that this is working. And even we'll see the other party, because we know that PNP is an opposition. They are not in the government. But so far, so good, because as we read this vision, we want to see what has Andrew Holness and his party done so far. Are they fulfilling their promises? Is that vision working? Let's continue. Build roads, housing. We know how Andrew Holness has been busy handing over all those houses to less privileged Jamaican, even reducing the interest rate, even 0%. We've seen that. We've seen the Jamaican Prime Minister handing over, launching, cutting ribbons to open the polls. Digital networks to modernize Jamaica. We've seen how he's introduced modern technologies in policing. Police now, they've got CCTVs, modern CCTVs, where they can monitor what is going on. And you remember Jamaican Prime Minister talking about criminals and warning them that we can see you. We know where you are hiding. Advance a digital government and a smart service. This is what is going on around the world. Smart, smart, smart. Everything smart. Smartphones. Smart this. Smart cameras. Everything. This is the vision, but we've seen Jamaican Prime Minister Andrew Holness talking about it and also launching some of these advanced digital technology in several departments and several places. Safe and orderly society. Strong focus on security reform. Policing and community safety. We've seen Andrew Holness, how he's been so keen on reducing crime in Jamaica. And you can even see some parts of this video where Prime Minister Holness is talking about how Jamaican crime has reduced to where it used to be before. And he will continue to make Jamaica a free crime country. Use of technology to fight crime and improve public safety. I mentioned already on the core themes. I really mentioned already, and if you can listen back to this video, I explain how the Prime Minister Andrew Holness has managed to introduce modern technology and make sure that police are using modern technology and CCTVs everywhere in Jamaica on the roads. Use of technology to fight crime and improve public safety. The purpose of all this is about improving public safety, and this is what he's been on and on talking about. The Prime Minister Andrew Holness has been talking about that. Let's watch this video before we proceed with PNP, which is People's National Party of Jamaica 5E plan. With them, they call theirs not vision. Jamaican Labour Party, they've got a vision. With PNP party is 5E plan. What is it all about? But before that, let's play this video. As you continue to subscribe, like, comment, and share.
Comrades, me know me have no. Me have me party worker them. Me have me man them. And me ready for them. We ready for them. So comrade workers, comrade warriors. Yes so nice cause we are going to give them a beat.
Jamaica, let me remind you about our 5E plan to transform the economy to make your lives better. The first E is education, and our commitment is to ensure that every child leaves primary school literate and numerate. We're going to put the resources in early childhood, basic and primary school so that our children can read, write, and do some arithmetics. We're also going to invest in ensuring that every child has at least one hot meal per day. And we're going to invest in a transport subsidy so that you can send your children to school even if you don't have the money. Our second E is energy. We have to reduce the cost of energy. How are we going to do that? We're going to invest more in renewable energies. We're going to deal with the issue of electricity theft, which accounts for 20% of your electricity bill. We have a plan to ensure that we bring the cost of energy down so that your lives can be better and companies can compete. The third E is our emerging economies. We're going to put $1 billion in a fund for the creative and cultural industries. Who am I talking about? I'm talking about our painters, our potters, our artists, our content creators, all the persons who use their intellectual capital and their creativity to create value for Jamaica. The fourth E relates to efficiency. We are going to run a government that is efficient. We're going to spend our capital budget. We're going to deal with the issues of procurement and the public investment management system, which has slowed the pace of investment. Our fifth E, we have to run a government which is ethical, a government of integrity. And we're committed. Our leader is committed. He has clean hands and a pure heart. And he has said to all of us, there are standards by which we are going to be held accountable. So Jamaica, think about the 5 E's. When you go into the polling station, vote for change. Vote PNP.
We talked about the 5E plan. So this 5E plan was created during previous elections. And you know that they are not the ruling party, so I cannot really be very hard on them, because I'm not gonna say, okay, they've done this so far, they've done this so far. I'm not gonna base about the previous time, because as you know, JLP has been ruling Jamaica for the past 9 years. But so far so good, that's what I can say. The People's National Party, PNP Manifesto, including its ambitious 5E plan. What is it all about? Presents a progressive vision of Jamaica. That's the vision, like how Jamaican Labour Party has a vision for Jamaica. However, several weaknesses or challenges have been noted by analysts, civil society groups, and critics. Here is a detailed look at potential weaknesses of PNP's manifesto. It's not me, or don't blame me, but this is what it's all about. Funding uncertainty. Ambitious but unclear financing. They are very ambitious. They want to promise. They want to do that, but they haven't disclosed yet about where are they going to get the funds. Many proposals like free tertiary education, universal health care, where are their funds? Where are they going to generate the funds? They haven't explained. While if we look at JLP, they got their funding already for their promises, and they are doing it. So as it stands, PNP doesn't disclose where are they going to get the funding from. And major housing programs, where are you going to get the funding? Are costly. All these promises they are promising about free schools, free universal health care, free major housing, they haven't told us where they are going to get the funds. Those are the weaknesses. It doesn't mean that I'm basing on the weaknesses, because if you can see their promises, their vision, their manifesto is good for Jamaicans, like how Labour is. But the question is, how is it going to be funded? I repeat, critics argue the PNP has not clearly outlined how this will be sustainably funded, as I said before, without increasing public debt or taxes. Because as you can see, JLP government, they came into power. Their priority was to reduce or to get rid of debt. And that was done. This is how they started making sure that they are using your taxes to fulfill and also to make sure that they are delivering to you Jamaicans. But so far for the PNP, We don't know because they are not transparency. They are not telling the world how they are going to manage. Income contingent loan system for education. Through promising, there were doubts about its feasibility, collection mechanism, and administrative burden. As you can see, this is the weakness. There is more doubts about its feasibility and how they are going to, what mechanism are they going to use. And it can cause administrative burden. Lack of specific implementation timelines. While the manifesto was visionary, it lacked concrete timelines, benchmarks, or pilot phases for many promises. They promise. You know, when you make promise after promise without telling people how is it going to be done, how are you going to manage? That's the problem now. That's why people are like, how is it going to happen? Let us know, because they need to learn from previous weaknesses and make sure they make those weaknesses become strength. Voters and analysis question when and how key goals, e.g. energy transition or education reform, would be delivered in a 5-year term. Voters are asking, how are you going to deliver in this within 5-year term? A lot of promises. Promises after promises. This is what it's all about. Limited innovation in crime and security. Crime remains one of Jamaica's most urgent issues. Critics argue the PNP's manifesto leaned heavily on community programs and social intervention without sufficiently addressing immediate security concern, like how JLP, led by Prime Minister Andrew Holness, they are explaining to us, as if you can go back, what I said before, because it's evident, because he's been telling us how he's going to provide new technology, improved technology, maybe I have to say that, to the police, to make sure that the community are safe, CCTV cameras, and those promises are there. It means he's fulfilling his vision. But with PNP, they've got all those promises. But the problem, they are not elaborating or might be telling us where they are going to generate income to use to fulfill all the promises within 5 years. What about addressing immediate security concerns such as gang violence and police reform? They haven't addressed. These are the recent issues they have to address. How are they going to do that? How are they going to fund that? Where is the funding coming from? It's the same thing we have to repeat and repeat. Public skepticism of governance and promises. Many promises about efficiency and anti-corruption were seen as recycled from past manifestos. They are still using the past manifestos, which was recycled. Now they are bringing it back. But it did not work. That's the problem. Most of the promises they are giving did not work before, but they are still bringing that and want to use it now and to convince you Jamaicans that this time is going to work. I'm not here to take sides today. I'm here just to explain what it's all about. Given previous PNP administrations, had their own governance controversies, the public's trust in implementation was mixed. This is what affected them. But they are still making those mistakes by bringing the recycled garbage to the new manifesto, which is gonna cost them, or else might be other Jamaicans, they cannot remember that these promises did not work. Even them, they've forgotten that these promises costed them. Rather than making sure that these weaknesses, they need to make sure these weaknesses have turned into strength by trying to adapt some of the manifesto or promises. The PNP's internal conflicts and leadership shifts also weaken confidence in cohesive execution. That's the internal conflicts. As you see, it's still happening. It's like chaotic. There are still people who are leaving PNP because there's a problem. Chaotic. I've really watched some of their meetings. I've seen that most of the time is about fighting. They are spending more time criticizing the government, also talking much about corruption, or calling even buses old, swearing, like as we saw Mark Gordon was swearing last time. All those things is lacking governance. What people of Jamaica wants is for a party, a government, which will tell them what are they going to do. That would be helpful, because even me, I'm just helping PNP. I know they'll come for me, but at the end of the day, I'm here just to make these comparisons between the two parties. Weak communication of benefits of everyday people. Though this 5E plan was structured, some critics felt it was too policy heavy and did not resonate emotionally with struggling Jamaicans seeking immediate relief from high living costs, job insecurity, and healthcare access. You know, every time these politicians, when they want us to choose them, it happens everywhere. They'll come with promises. Oh, when you choose us, we are going to do this, do this, do this. But unfortunately, when we choose them, they'll come with stories. Oh, we need to make money. Oh, we need to cut this. We need to do this. People are not ready to wait for you to get rid of their poverty. People are not patient. We are not patient because we've had governments where they promise, but they don't do it. And they don't understand that 5 years, it can just go like that. But when they are making these promises, it's like lies. Because if you make a lot of promises without explaining how you are going to do with that, a local person out there who doesn't understand will be excited because it's just words. Those words are not going to be put into practice. This is what we can see now. Because as I said before, I will deal with PNP different from JLP, because JLP is in the government and they are doing what they promised. And PNP are not in the government, but previously they were there and they failed for some time. But now this is their only opportunity to come out here and make Jamaicans understand that this time we are going to get it right. But according to what I can see here, it's about promise and promises every time. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment as we continue. JLP's messaging was often seen as more populist and connected to current achievement, While PNP's plan felt longer term and less urgent. This is the conclusion. It's not me. I've done some research. Because of too much promises, PNP is not getting into people's minds. People are not convinced because every time they are making people just ask questions. How is it gonna happen? They are asking questions. This is the time for you Jamaicans to understand, because if we don't explain these things, Jamaicans, it's not everyone who does understand these things. I don't understand much about politics, but I have to do some research and compare different sources and come out with the conclusion. So according to what is happening, JLP seems more popular because they are dealing with the current situation. PNP is promising, but they are promising future, because within 5 years those promises are not going to be fulfilled. This is what it's all about. That's why sometimes we have to, I always repeat and tell people, Rome wasn't built in one day. That's why Prime Minister Andrew Holness is acknowledging Jamaicans that, please, can I continue? This is about continuation. Because if he doesn't continue, if you make a mistake and choose another person now, it means it will be all over again. They have to look for finances. They have to look for, go back to donors. They have to ask for loans there. They have to depend on that. This will take long. 5 years is not going to happen. Let's continue. But the decision is in you Jamaicans, not me. Today I've come here as neutral. Lack of strong blending or differentiation. The PNP manifesto lacked distinctiveness in certain areas, not all the areas, such as digital transformation and green economy, which the JLP was also promoting. And they were explaining how they are going to manage that. The plan sometimes came across as reactive to JLP policies rather than boldly original. This is how they were dealing. The PNP, rather than coming up with their own ideas or how explaining to the people of Jamaica how it's going to happen, they were wasting their time. They are still wasting their time criticizing JLP. Let's watch this video while we are going to continue and summarize everything we've talked about today.
Book on corruption. Don't let them fool you by repeating their lies often enough that you start to believe it. When it comes to corruption, PNP hypocrisy and barefaced lies must be dismissed.
I want to say one little thing. We have a wicked tune where we released the other day, you know? Yeah, man. We're marching on to progress. It'll take life on the road, you know? You want to see labor right dance to it, to them love it too.
I'm going to conclude about PNP Manifesto, which is 5E plan. The PNP Manifesto presented a progressive people-first agenda, as you heard before, focused on equity, education, and empowerment, which is good, environment, and efficient governance. It aimed to transform Jamaica through social justice, free tertiary education, universal health care, and sustainable development. However, while visionary, it faced criticism for lack of clear implementation timelines, vague funding sources, and trust issues related to past governance. Their PNP's core message, a new direction for a fair, more inclusive Jamaica. What is the conclusion of Jamaican Labour Party according to their manifesto? The JLP Manifesto emphasized economic recovery, stability, infrastructure development, and public sector efficiency. Building on their previous term's achievements, it prioritized job creation, digital transformation, social housing, and security improvements. Though seems a more grounded and results-driven, critics pointed out that it sometimes lacked bold long-term innovation and was heavily focused on continuity over radical change. JLP's core message, delivering results, building a stronger and resilient Jamaica. Thank you very much for watching. God bless you abundantly. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share. Are you JLP? Are you going to vote for Andrew Holiness to get back into office and to continue where he started and continue to take you further, Jamaicans? Are you going to go back and list down what he's done to Jamaicans? Are you convinced, or else you are not convinced? Or are you still thinking? Time is running fast, Jamaicans. It's your choice. Are you PNP? Are you going to vote for PNP because you like their manifesto? Because you believe that they'll deliver within 5 years? Because you believe that they've got the funding already? Or else you are waiting for them until they will explain to you properly where they are going to get the funding? Because as it stands, there is no funding. They haven't come out to explain to the world where are they how are they going to get funded. Are you still there? Or else you are still thinking? You haven't made your choices. It's up to you, Jamaicans. Or else, do you enjoy when PNP are dancing with their orange? Or else, you know that they are going to change. You know that you have to give them time. Do you think there's still time? Make the right decisions, Jamaicans. Time is running. It's either JLP or either PNP. This ball is in your hands because you've heard about the manifestos, you've heard about the weaknesses, and you've heard about where each and every party are getting a bit of where computer is saying but at the end of the day, what do you think? Do you believe in what you see? Or you just believe in theory, not practical? It's up to you, Jamaicans. Remember to subscribe, like, comment, and share. See you next video. Ciao, ciao. Bye. Mwah.
Hey there, Aunt Yummy, you're the sweetest surprise. With a smile that sparkles beneath these bright skies. Your flavor's a melody, a tune that's so fine. A mix of adventure, oh, isn't it